What's up, everyone, and welcome back to an all-new video. This is Jonathan here, and today I wanted to talk about a fatal mistake that I see a number of people making, and I honestly don't want you to make that same mistake. That mistake is utilizing price per square foot as a reliable model to help you accurately value a property. And what I want to do is talk a little bit about where this comes from and then give you really a baseline so that you can use this so that it helps you, not hurt you. But if there was one key takeaway here that I hope you would take away from this video, it would be that not all square footage is created equally. It's not created equally. And so when you use price per square foot, you assume often that the same quality of price per square foot in house A is the same quality of price per square foot in house B. And that is majority of the time inaccurate. And if that is true, then it's not an accurate model to use in valuing a property. But where does it come from? Well, it comes from the commercial real estate world. You have residential, you have commercial real estate. And when you think about it, it makes complete sense. Let's just say we have this one commercial building. It's got 4 floors, and each floor is essentially the same. You've got this open space that can be filled in whatever way you want to do it. But really, is there any difference between the top floor and the third floor? Well, maybe because you have a little bit more altitude and the views are better. But in terms of what you get here in this space, there's really no difference. And so you could, let's say, rent this space out for $1,000 a square foot. And if somebody comes in here and wants to know what this floor is going to be priced at, well, it's going to be about 1,000 square foot because there's really no difference between the two other than altitude. And then the fact that you don't share a ceiling up here, which can determine value, right? It's why when you go and you buy a condo, usually the value always goes up the higher you go, right? But that's for a separate video. For the most part, your price per square foot with commercial real estate is going to be basically the same, but it's not the same thing with residential, because what you see in price per square foot on one house is not necessarily the same in price per square foot of another house. Maybe they've got an additional room or an additional wing onto the house, but maybe it has a bathroom, maybe it doesn't. And so price per square foot isn't the most accurate model here. What do appraisers do though? Well, here's what typically appraisers do when they're looking to value a property is they don't necessarily use the price per square foot model to value properties. What they do say is historically, what are 2,000 square feet houses selling for, right? Or historically, what are 2,500 square feet houses selling for? Same thing, 3,000 square feet. What historically are these selling for? They're not necessarily looking at comparing price per square foot from a 2,000 to a 2,500 or 2,000 to a 3,000. And that's what I see a lot of homeowners doing, where they're looking at price per square foot of maybe a larger home and what it sold for. And then they're trying to extrapolate it for their home. It's just not the same, guys. So be careful. Not all square footage is created equal. Okay. But here is one rule of thumb that I have found to be accurate, even though in 2021, with the price per square foot and what it costs now to build or renovate a home is wonky, okay? But I've just found really $100 a square foot to be an accurate baseline to kind of go off of. So if you're trying to compare and a house has another 100 square feet or 200 square feet or 300 square feet, I'm just using that as a baseline to get a good idea of, okay, if they've got 100 or 200 and we just extrapolated it out based off of $100 a square foot, where might that put us in terms of a range? I found that to be a helpful baseline. But again, you want to be careful because not all square footage is created equally. So please make sure you avoid this very costly mistake, because it can be costly. And you just want to know, how can you use an accurate square footage barometer here to help you value a property? I find an accurate baseline is about $100 a square foot is helpful, but you want to be useful in this. There's some other more reliable models that we've already gone over that can help you in valuing a property. Hope this helps. Avoid this mistake. And until next video, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.